Hello, everyone. I am Josh Essery at ESC Region 12, and this is your Google update for the month of April, the year of 2023. Thank you for anybody that is able to join us today. I will be trying my best to monitor the chat on the side. I should make a picture, and I should go ahead and post it into our Google group so y'all can see the craziness that we currently have going on for this live stream setup. But I want to make sure that it's a good viewing experience and it's engaging. And I'm just going to check a couple of things real fast to make sure it's all working correctly. All right. Yeah, it's working. All right. I just want to make sure the audio is coming through on that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, if you have not been over to our website yet, please go ahead and I want you to check out. Oh, hold on. Pause. I know we can't pause live, but for some reason, there is no display for y'all to see. So let me go ahead and grab that real fast. Well, that was awkward. Now this probably looks awful. So just give me 1 second. Well, how are y'all today? If you're in the live stream or you're watching this after, what's on your mind? Put it in the chat. What's something googly that you've been wondering about, or something that has been bothering you? I love the Googles, but I can be with y'all in the fact that, sometimes there's just things about the Googles that annoy us, and we can't change them. Though we wish we really could, we don't have that power. Maybe one of these days, I would be in a position where I could have that power, but not currently in this situation. There we go, and almost got the logo in the front. There, let's get that. There we go. Now this looks, I don't know why that messed up. But anyways, let's make sure that everybody knows how to access this. So if you are not seeing the agenda right now, you can go ahead and go to esc12.net/Google. If you go down to that part, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat real fast. If you go to that link, you will be able to access all of our meeting notes and some of my things that are just extremely out of date still that I'm actually noticing right now. But if you would like to join our group, which we'll talk about later, the monthly update stuff is over here, so you can always join the YouTube Live. This will also take you to our YouTube page if you want to watch anything again. And then if you click on the current agenda button right there, that is everything that we're going to be going off of today. So if you're interested in checking that out, please go ahead and go to esc12.net/Google. Again, that is in the live chat. And then you can also, and then you'll just click on current agenda. Oh, and by the way, all the previous videos and updates are down there along with the archives of all the agendas. So let me go ahead and fix this. I feel like it's a little too, yeah, there we go. Now that feels good. So let's go ahead and jump into our agenda and just go from top to bottom. So if you ever need to, I don't know if this pops out on the left like on mine, but if it doesn't, all you have to do is click that little button right there, and that gives you a really quick little index of of places to jump around in the agenda. So if you're just like, I don't need this other stuff, I just want to know what's new, so you click on the little present, and then it'll take you down to that section of what's new. The gifts from Google. They just keep on giving, don't they? And then if you just want to go back up to the top, then you click the welcome, and you're back up there. So again, to access that, you just click that. By the way, that is auto-generated through Google Docs as long as you create headings in your document. I don't know why I enunciated that so much. Headings. Anyways, but if you make your document and you use headings and subheadings, it will auto-generate this outline really, really, really fast. You also will be able to create something like this, where you have a bookmark index at the top if you use those headings. That's one of those things that a lot of people just don't use because it's kind of hidden and it feels old in the world of word processing. Headings, subheadings, paragraph styles. Like, that's not fun. That's not fancy. So, anyways, that's how you navigate this document. So, again, my name is Josh Essery. I'm one of the digital innovation specialists here at Education Service Center Region 12 and the coordinator of the Google Educator Group for Central Texas here, mainly for the Region 12 geographic area. But you're more than welcome to invite anybody you want to. They do not have to be in Region 12. They do not have to be in Texas. Just have to be willing to put up with the googliness. That's pretty much all they have to do. So you can follow me on Twitter. You can see my handle right there. I'm working on a Mastodon account. Any Mastodon people out there? I'm just kind of curious. Any Mastodons? And then if you want to see any more of our YouTube channel, all you have to do is click on that TMYK YouTube. That'll show you all the videos that we've made and all of the previous live ones that we've streamed as well. And then our Google Educator Group, you can click on that to get more information about it, which we're going to do that in a second. Important links, signing up, Twitter accounts, etc. Don't have to spend a whole lot of time on that. But now for the part that I am so excited about. We finally broke 100, y'all. Not only did we break 100, we did it 5 times. Well, it didn't go below 100 and then come back. Anyways, we broke it 5 times. It was awesome. So we're up to 105. That is fantastic. So again, just the bigger the community is, the more people and expertise that we have to pull from. We have questions that start kind of spanning out beyond a specific scope. Like a lot of times we'll just talk about how you can be efficient or productive. And some people want to know more like, oh, how does this work if I'm a secretary, or how does this work if I'm a counselor? People start asking more questions about Google Admin. We have Google admins in here that can answer those questions now if you ask them to the group. We've been pulling in Keith Mossick, our Google admin here at Region 12, and he's been able to add his expertise also. So keep those questions coming. Keep the invites to people that you know coming. And again, I don't try to spam you. I'll send out like 1 newsletter a month, and then we'll do 1 live a month. If we want to do anything more than that, then that's what's going to happen. So if you want to join, or if you want somebody else to join, you can send them this agenda, or you can just click on that link and send them this link, and there'll be a little join conversation up here. And then you just have to request. There's a little bitty question that says, why do you want to join? Just say, I like the Googles, something like that. I don't care. I just want to make sure it's not a bot. Okay. And then I'll just approve you in. If you ever do have a question, you might be sitting there going, what is this ask a question thing? Do I just email Josh? No, that's not how it works. All you do is you email googleeducators@esc12.net with either your Google epiphany, your Google question, your Google quandary, your gaggle of Google. I don't know. I should have started that one a little differently. I was going for 3 alliterations. A gaggle of Google question. Anyways. I'll come up with it later. But anyways, all you have to do is email it at that email address right there, and it will go out to everybody kind of as an open-ended post. If you don't want to do that, just email me. I'll send it out if you're more comfortable with that. I also would like to invite you to join our Google chat group. We do have a live chat group that goes through Google Chat. So if you want to be a part of that, all you need to do is go ahead and click on that and go ahead and fill out that form. It's just, what's your name and what email do you want me to use to add you to the chat? That's all it is, but that's the only way I can get you into the chat. I can't just put a link that you click on. You have to request, and then I have to actually manually add you in. So if that interests you, I post a lot more to that one just because they're just like random thoughts from Josh about Google. So I'm not going to send an email out for those every time. That's some days there's more than one. Upcoming events and previous events. So AI in education is still a really hot topic, so I'm leaving that one up there. It's a couple months old, but it's still very relevant, especially if you don't know what anybody's talking about when they say AI and you're too embarrassed to ask. I've been there. I understand. You are my people. And maybe you also hear people say Chat GPT, or you hear them say like Bing Chatbot or Bard or something like that. That's kind of also an explainer video of what those things are and how you can get started kind of digging into those and using those yourself. We have our Innovative Teaching and Learning Conference coming up on July 17th. We are taking registrations. If you are part of our Enhanced Curriculum Co-op, you get it for $75. We're really excited about keynotes, workshops, all of that stuff, the collaboration, the connections we're going to make. You can see that we're focusing on purposeful engagement, innovative instructional strategies, relevant learning experiences, and meaningful technology implementation. So you can see that we're not, it's just not a technology conference, and it's not just a best practices for instructional strategies conference. It's everything. And we're going to have workshops that focus on each one of those and highlight each one of those. And of course, we'll do some crossover on those. It's a one-day conference. It's jam-packed. We also will hope to have a technology playground for that technology implementation, where we're going to be able to highlight some stuff that is really on the forefront of technology right now and technology in school. That being said, if you're watching this and you're in Region 12 or you're planning on coming, we are also going to be highlighting people's technology from around the region. So if you're interested in showcasing your stuff at the playground, please reach out to me at jessary@esc12.net. I don't think I have that one built in. No, I don't. Sorry. I thought maybe I had a text thing that would put that up on the screen, and I didn't actually put that one in. Okay. So we also have a lot of Google stuff coming this summer, y'all. So if you click on that agenda item right there, that's, the Google Boot Camps, this is a lot of stuff that we're offering. But the specific things for the Google group here is we have a Google Classroom Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. So maybe you're brand new to using Google Classroom. Maybe you're just started using it, or maybe you've been using it for 5 years, or maybe you've been using it since the beginning of Google Classroom and you're Level 3. Like, how can I take it to the max? All of these will be self-paced online with live office hours from me. So you get to work through it, and I'll have hours posted. So whenever you want to see live demos or you want to ask me questions, there will be live Q&As and live office hours that will be standing for those events as well. But you can work through the content all on your own at your own time from wherever you want to. We'll also have Google Boot Camps, Level 1, Level 2, where you can take a test at the end from Google to gain a certification from Google saying you're Level 1 or Level 2 certified. And we also, this is not us. The Google Product Series, if you have not checked that out, please check that one out. This one's they're just really nice. They're really short, and they highlight just usually one thing that you can dive into. So if you click on that, you can see all of the ones that are coming up or down at the bottom. Newest features, taking advantage of built-in security. Some of them are admin kind of facing, and some of them are like teacher facing or just regular, like run-of-the-mill public customer facing. Accessing documents in Google Drive was today. It's actually, was it right now? No, it's 12:30. Yeah, we missed that one. But once they've finished, you can go ahead and go to the watch section. But like this one right here, let's go to leveraging interactive dashboards. You can click on that. That will show you the video, a recording. And in each one of those recordings, you kind of have to do a little digging. But they usually will have, up in the top right, you'll see it right there. I don't know if this zoom in thing's going to work, but like, see that one right there. It says, here's the deck. So you go to bit.ly/blah, blah, 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 or you can go to the site, which is that. So on each one of those videos, look for that, and that'll give you the presentation of that one. Last upcoming event is, oh, and you probably couldn't see that because my face was in the way. I'm sorry. But anyways, go up to the top right. That was barely in the way. I'm rewatching it. Sorry. A little delayed. Last thing is Google I/O is coming up. So that is like Google's annual keynote about the products that are coming out, the features that are coming out, and even the devices and hardware coming out. I love Google I/O. It's very nerdy. It's very googly. So I will be watching the main keynote live. It is actually like a 3-day event, I believe. I'm just going to be watching the main keynote on the first day, which is on May 10th is when that keynote happens. So I would encourage you, check it out if you're really googly and you want to get into that. I will also be live chatting. I'll be at watch along. It's like a watch along with a live chat. So I'll be watching it and I'll be chatting. So if you don't have time to watch it, or you can't watch it, but you want to know what's going on, you can go ahead and watch in the chat. So again, if you want to be part of that chat, just click on that link and go ahead and request to be part of our Google chat. And I will give you the keys to the city, the Google city. Yes, sure. All right, moving on. I'm not seeing anything in the live chat. So if you have any questions, put them over there. That is the only way I'm probably going to see it. What's new in Google Workspace for Education? So reminders real fast. Whenever you go to any of these updates that I'm talking about, this is a bad example. Most of these, the ones that are called Google, the ones that say Google Blog on them, it's important when you're looking at those to go to the bottom and read those headers of why it's important, how to get started with it, the rollout pace. When should I see these updates? Because I'm going to show you a couple today. I know for sure that are not live for everyone yet. In fact, it's the 27th. Some of them have only been rolling out for 2 days, and they do a 15-day rollout. And then availability. Who has access to it? Is it just business and enterprise? Is it just schools? Is it only schools, but you can't use the free school one? So that availability one will also will give you information for that if your school or your organization has access to those. So just be very cognizant of that as you're looking through these. And if you're curious, you're like, well, Josh said that was a thing, but I do not see it. Just make sure you check those pieces of information. Google Earth has included some time-lapse experiences now. Experiences just came out of my mouth really weird. So I'm going to go to earth.google.com. I don't know where they have taken me today. Let's see. Rheinhof, Molino, Neuweiss, Leidendorf. But you have Estancia del Carmen. It's like Spain over here, but like maybe Austrian over here. Sorry, I'm getting, let's see. Oh, Africa. Gosh, I was way off. So over on the left side, we have the Voyager button. If you haven't been to Google Earth, do that first. Then go to the Voyager section. They're curated experiences that Google and other third-party partners have made using Google Earth data and imagery. They're really cool. They have nature, they have games, they have layers, street view, culture, travel, education, and they add to them all the time. The education one, you'll see a lot of the ones where the partnership exists. So this one's using Media for Math, HHMI, Houghton Miller. I can't remember what that one stands for. Anyways. But we're going to go up here to the top to the featured things. And we're going to click through these featured ones. And there is a time lapse in Google Earth. So these are ones that they've already started curating. And you can look at some things here in Google Earth time lapse, like changing forests, the fragile beauty of the earth, the warming planet, sources of energy, urban expansion. The urban expansion one's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. And it's going to take us over to Las Vegas, which I think is a great example, especially since they go back all the way to the 80s, it looks like. And we'll just kind of watch this through just for a second. So it's pretty neat to go back. And you can even pause them if you click on specific dates over here on the right. So that is what it looked like in 1985. Resolution wasn't quite as good, but you can still see, there was development there. But as it moves on, you can see not only how everything is getting improved in here and it's getting more dense, but you can also watch the sprawl on the outside. And there's a little narrative underneath down at the bottom. You can go ahead and click the arrow, and that will take you to another site using Google Earth that illustrates. Now we're looking at urban sprawl. A couple of Google Earth tips and tricks when you're in here. So we're going to go ahead and pause this for just a second. Actually, let's go down to our most current data so it's nice high resolution imagery. You can click and move around if you're on a computer. It's a little bit more natural sometimes on a mobile device just because the pinching and the zooming feels more natural. But there are then also key modifiers that help out very, very much. So the other thing you can do is instead of dragging around, if you hold down the shift key, then that lets you change your perspective for the elevation, which is really nice. And then you can also hold down the control key that lets you kind of stay in the same spot, but you can look at a different angle. I think that's probably the best way to say that. So use those modifiers. You have control, you have shift, and then the spacebar. Does spacebar do one? Nope, that's on Tinkercad. Sorry, different one. So use your control and your shift buttons to get those different functions when you're in Google Earth. So definitely check those out. These are some really cool experiences. And looks like I have an update that I need to take care of, but we're gonna get rid of it for now, just so it doesn't bother us. Moving on. Some Chrome browser tips. This is from Google's Keyword. I'm going to let you read through there. There's one in here that I did not know about. But y'all can read through these. But the one I did not know about is how we can manage our bookmarks or finding bookmarks with a command up in the Omnibar. I always like that they still keep that. This is the Omnibar up here. Some people call it the address bar or the URL bar. It's the Omnibar because you can do more than you can do more with it. We can type commands in it. So if I open up a new tab, and let's go ahead and hop up here in the corner, and I'm going to put in the @ sign and then type in bookmarks, and then click that search Chrome bookmarks. Then all I have to do is type in the name of the bookmark that I want, Google, and it shows me everything in my bookmarks that has the word Google in it, which is pretty awesome. If I want to, you can also, this is pretty nifty, if you hit that @ sign, it shows you what else you can do. So you can also do history and search your Chrome history. And the lights went off. No. Where's the sensor? Sensor. There we go. Okay. So you can also, whatever. I don't want to type that in. But let's look at the tabs one. So if we type in tabs, nope. @ tabs. There we go. Search tabs. Then we can type in whatever we're looking for under our tabs. So if we had a lot of tabs open, we could just type in, I know we had the Google agenda open. So there's all these agendas. There's the April update agenda. Click on it. It takes me directly to that tab with that one open. Actually, that's Eric's agenda from Control-Alt-Achieve. So that was really cool that you can use that @ symbol to search things on your Chrome browser. Cool. Yay. Awesome. Oh, no. Thank you, Eric. I didn't realize that it was doing that. That I didn't change that one. That's my bad. Thank you, Eric. Let's go. Let me hop back over and grab the link in case somebody pops in here in a second. There we go. I'm sure y'all are watching because we have 5 people still watching. So if you know somebody that left, there's the link up there. That was an old link, so apologies for that. All right. Moving on, we're going to go down to our what's new. There we go. So go ahead and check out those tips, but that @ one was pretty cool. Enabling organizational communication with announcements and chat. I'm not really going to go over this specific update. We're going to take a look at it. But the thing I did want to talk about actually was just Google Chat in general. Google is putting a lot of effort behind Google Chat and Google Spaces. Spaces is going to be for later. But, well, I'm going to have to show you both. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into ours. And so over here on the left side, you have your mail and you have chat. Now you might also see Spaces, and you might see Meet. Meet is turned off or on depending on your settings. So that might just be like why yours looks different in here. So over here on the chat, this is just a great tool if you just need to ask somebody a quick question or you have a quick request. We've been using email up until this point because that's all we ever really had once we had the internet going. I mean, everybody remembers Juno Mail, and then the original Hotmail and the AOL email addresses and Yahoo mails. I don't know why it was plural. Anyways, and that's just kind of the stream we get into, but you can use something else along with it. This is not something necessarily I feel that replaces email, but in conjunction with email, I feel like it really does a good job of separating the tasks that you have and the requests and the collaboration cases that you would have with people. So here's an example. So Keith is our Google admin, and I have a Chromebook over here that it is managed by organization, and we don't have a lot of apps that are necessarily in the Google Play Store for those because they are approved on a case-by-case basis. And so I didn't want to just send an email and say, hey, can I get this? I felt like, our inboxes are a little bit too much, and Keith can use the chat kind of like a checkbox, or a to-do list rather than, oh, I have 50 emails. Oh, I see Josh sent me one message. I'll just click on that and see what's going on with him. I don't know if that's how he sees it, but that's how I use them. When people text me in Google Chat, I just kind of look down those. I kind of adjust or address each one of those notification dots one at a time. And it feels like chat, so you are more succinct when you type in there. You just do that naturally, and so they don't have the weight of an email, and it's not something else that's clogging up your inbox. And with Google Chat, for the most part, at least for our organization, and how yours is defaulted to, is it's going to be internally for the most part for your organization. So you can kind of keep the collaboration and the connections for the work. Anything that goes out, keep using email. And I still use email internally. But for like one-on-one conversations or small groups, this is easy, especially if I know it's going to be an ongoing conversation that I don't want an email thread that's 20 emails long. I think we've all been there. Yes, we've all been there. Okay. So you can see right here, I was like, hey, can you add Google Photos to our list? And I didn't know if I needed to do anything special, like fill out a form or anything. And he said nothing to do. I'll add it. And I gave him some cool sunshade reactions. I was like, yeah, cool, thanks. And then he said it'll be on there shortly. And that was from 1:10 to 10:58. That whole conversation took 12 minutes. And you see, like, that was a short response. That's a short response. That wasn't even that much right there. And it's nice because I can still add things just like I could in email. So that being said, Google is starting to add a lot of features. So there are tons of features in Google Chat where you can attach Google Drive files that you can interact with within the chat without actually having to leave chat to go to a Google Doc. I can click on this calendar invite and automatically see Keith's calendar and make a calendar invite straight from here. I never have to go to Google Calendar, and it sends them an invite and it puts it in the chat and everything's already done. So lots of features. I'm not going to go over it. I'm probably going to do a deep dive at some point, but just let you know to try that out. If you see it over there, give it a whirl, see what it feels like. It's nice that it's in Gmail, and it's also on the Gmail app on your mobile devices. So you have open up Gmail, and if you look at the bottom of your Gmail app, you'll see mail and you'll see chat down there. So you just have to click on the chat, listen to me. I don't have a mouse. Touch on the chat. It'll open up the chat function. Practice sets are now live in Google Classroom. Now, this is only for Education Plus and the Teaching and Learning upgrade package for the Google Workspace for Education. This is a brand new, not even assessment, it's like a growth mindset tool that is implemented into Google Classroom. It has auto grading built in. You have automatic insights to performance and growth for your students. It allows your students to literally practice questions. They can get help on their questions immediately. And if you go back, I'm not going to go over this because it does take a while, like at least 30 minutes to give you a really good demo, and I'm not going to do that right now. But if you go back to the upcoming events, and you go to that product series, if you go down to and I'll put a link to it if I can. Yes, this practice makes perfect. I'm just going to share this right now in the document so y'all can go ahead and have that. So let's go ahead and go down here to our practice sets. We'll put another resource link in here. And this is from the Fried Technology people. They did the product series. They did a little 30-minute video. There's a slide deck and everything that shows you how all of that works. The only thing I'll show you is to see if you haven't seen it yet, you'll just go ahead and go to your Google Classroom, either through the waffle or go and type in classroom.google, and it'll be staring at you in the face. It'll be yelling at you. It'll say practice sets, and then you can click on that and you can go ahead and make your first practice sets. The great thing is it'll walk you through a practice set if you've never done one before. And one of the things that we've been asking Google to do for a long time, which we're still not there, but there's hints of it now, is that we've always wanted the ability to see what Google Classroom looks like as a student, because we always see it as a teacher, and a lot of things are lost in translation when we're just designing it from the teacher side, and we just kind of want to take a look. What does it look like as a student on the student side? So we're not there yet, but when you do these practice sets, you now can try them as a student, which is awesome. Very, very helpful. So check those things out. If you have the Education Plus and Teaching and Learning package / upgrade, you can check out the blog post right there from Google, and you can also watch the Fried Technology product demo. If you are a big reminders person in Google Calendar, if you're asking for reminders, be aware that that is almost on its last leg to be using those, and they're going to migrate to tasks completely, which we are going to look at today. So if you're like, what does that mean? If you know that you're a person that is a calendar event and you say make a reminder, this is affecting you. So all that stuff will be migrated over to tasks instead. There's nothing really. Oh, let's actually go up. So Google Bard updates. If you have access to Google Bard, you've probably been using it. If not, you can go to bard.google.com, and then you'll be able to click on join the waitlist. If you will give me just 1 second, we're going to, there we go. I just need to change screens over here for just a second. So let's go ahead and pop into that one. There we go. Boop, boop, do, 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 and do. Okay, I had to make sure that the screen was non-distracting for everyone. Okay, cool. So here's Bard, if you do have access to it. And this works a lot like ChatGPT, if you're familiar with that. And, oh, that looks weird. Oh, it's because I wasn't scrolled down. So if you've never used one before, this is just, it's like a Google search, except it's more natural. It is built on a large language model, which means that it talks naturally to you, and you can speak naturally back to it. It also remembers your conversation, so you don't have to re-prompt it every time. So if you wanted to say, create a lesson plan for the Alamo. And then you'll just wait just a little bit, and it'll give you a basic outline, which is great. You kind of have a heavy lift done for you already. It's not great. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a good start. And then one thing about Google Bard that's really nice is there are the view other drafts up here at the top. So when Google actually ran this through its AI algorithm and system, that it actually produced 3 different ones. So it could show you different options, different answers. Some of them may be right and some of them may be wrong, which is always important to consider when you're looking at these AI models, is that they don't tell you if they're wrong because they don't know if they are wrong. So it's very important to be diligent when you're looking through this stuff. And the phrase that I always like to pull from my technology podcasts is because it doesn't know that it's wrong. It will confidently lie to you. So just be aware of that when you're asking it to do things. So an example of this, follow up. So let's say that we want to follow up and want to say, I need timings for a 50-minute class. And again, you'll give it a little bit of time. If you're used to ChatGPT, it's nice because it types it all out. But I don't know. I beg to differ. And so then we have 15 minutes, 5 minutes for the intro, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. All right. Can you give me a choice board for assessing at the end of this lesson? I haven't tried this one on Bard yet, so let's see what happens. Okay, so just gives you some options for that. So you can now also say good response, bad response. You can ask for a new response along with your other drafts, and then you can also Google it. So if you click that Google button, it'll say what you want to Google. Choice board? Okay, cool. And then it shows you what a choice board is if you're more comfortable using that. Over on the left side, they've also put in some FAQs about questions that have come up about Bard, and it also will show you the updates. The most recent update is that you can now ask for coding in this. So example, can you give me that lesson plan again, but in HTML for a website? I haven't tried this. We're just going to see it. Okay, and then there's your HTML. And again, you also have other drafts if you want to see any of those other options. So there's updates, and then there's a help and support page as well. So that's just kind of the update with Bard. If you haven't tried it out, I would get on the wait list. Between ChatGPT and Bard, it's ChatGPT kind of has a head start on it, as most of the reviews have pointed out. Google is starting to add stuff, but Google is being very cautious about the things that they're adding. I personally kind of like this a little bit better. It feels a little bit cleaner. I feel like I get overwhelmed. ChatGPT is a little wordy, and I don't know, Bard's a little more succinct. I kind of like that. So let's go ahead and jump back over to our agenda. There is an enhancing tool for discovery stuff, it's an enhancing tool to discover tools in Google Sheets and Docs and Slides. So if we're going to go ahead and jump out and look at that, this has actually only been rolling out for a couple of days now. I do not have access to this, but if you look up here at the top of this nice little GIF that they made, there is going to be a search button at the top, and you can go ahead and just type in what you need. So like that one, remove column, and it just removes the column. So like before you had to go up and click help, right? You go up to the top, like, I don't know where this button is. I don't know what this function is. You go up to the top, you click help, and then you type in what you need, and it shows it to you where it is in the menu. In this case, you can just say, hey, here's what I need. It puts the function below that search box. Then you just click that function or that tool, and it just does it there. So you can actually accomplish a lot of tasks without ever pulling down the menu bar at the top. Just search for what you need, click the button, have it go ahead and carry out that function for you. So if anybody has that, I'd be curious to know if anybody's been using that. All right. And I was going to show you this one, but I kind of forgot that I was using YouTube Live now, and I don't have a way to get my Chromebook over here yet. Maybe next time. But Google Photos has a Google Photos app for your Chromebook that has some really nice features that have rolled out and will be rolling out. But if you have not done this in your classroom, if you're a teacher, this is one of the easiest ways to make simple videos. Yeah, you're not going to be super fancy with like object tracking or animated texts, but if you want to put pictures and video into a movie that you can play and share with music, and you want to be able to trim the videos and say how long you want the pictures up, those are the basic things, you can do that. It's really, really simple. And you can see that there are some basic editing things. So when you put a picture in, you can still you can change the brightness and the rotation and the contrast. And there's a few effects, some like filters you can put over the things. But you can do that, and you can add music and then share your video out. You can do these things in Google Photos now, but it's a little bit more intuitive, and it's not as clunky as the web version, but you can do it on the web as well. All right, so we're going to jump in for our last few minutes. Oh, you know what, y'all? I have all these awesome videos, and I haven't been doing any of them. So before we jump in, let's go over to experiencing and designing with Google. I have so many of them. I feel like I need to show you all of them. Maybe not. The What's New one was fun. We got to watch the What's New one. Okay, sorry, I liked that one. But no, we're going to be doing experiencing and designing with Google now. So this is the section that's just kind of a deeper dive demo. Earlier, we're kind of talking about updates, and I'm touching just kind of the tip of the iceberg on a lot of that. So this one in particular, we're going to talk about the tasks. I did show you a little bit about chat. We might show you a little bit more. But I wanted to kind of dive into Google Calendar tips. This seems like one that we kind of ignore because you're like, yep, everybody uses Calendar. But man, there is so much stuff in Calendar. I really can't get over how much stuff is in Calendar. I've done 4 trainings recently just over Google Calendar. And one, the stuff that I discovered as I was really trying to dive deep into it and find really good workflows, and solve problems that people were having. We also had some people share some things that I didn't know about because I didn't dive that far in. So if you want to, this Google Tips link right here, this is the presentation that I gave for powering up your productivity. You can get a copy of this one just by going there and going to File, Make a Copy. For some reason, my forced copy thing was not working that day, so that's why that one says that. And then you can go to each one of these and kind of go over the skills or the ideas or the functions that each one of those slides contains. So like the basic stuff, creating an event, duplicating events, creating calendars, notifications, changing the view, and changing the color coding of your events. The thing that, let's see, which one did I want to share? Let's see. Yeah, so I did this one section that I really liked. It was the Google Calendar Events Maximized, because I feel like when we make events, we kind of glaze over some of the stuff the abilities that we have when we're creating events. So we're going to create an event real fast. One of the best practices that I always tell people when you're creating events is after you click that, either you click a date on your calendar or you click the Create Event. Once you click that, go ahead and click this More Options button down here, because you can access everything from that other screen, but you don't realize it's there because you have to click a button for it to drop down or expand. So I always suggest, as a workflow, when you create events, just click that More Options button down there. So go ahead and title it. We've all kind of done that, all been there. We do the time, we do the date. One of the things that I have encountered, I have not seen it anywhere else, but that does not mean that this is true. If you do an all-day event, be aware that when you do an all-day event, that Google likes to say that on your all-day event, you are free. You are available for meetings. So just kind of a workflow or a little hack or a suggestion. If you ever have that, I would at least click that to busy so people can't schedule things with you. I also recommend, or no, not also, but if you forget to do that, because a lot of the times we don't remember to go down there to the bottom. You'll click the event, you're like, oh yeah, I have this all day event, boom, save, and you're done. And if you just forget that it's marked for free and you got to do that, maybe you could just not mark it as all day and just start it and just say that you have an event that starts at 8:15 or whatever and goes until 5:15. That will block it all off and it will show that you are busy there. Okay, so moving on, we're just going to have a regular event, except I'm going to make this, we're going to make it a 1 hour event or 45 minutes. That looks good. Let's put it on a different date. Perfect. Don't forget, you always have your video conferencing option. If y'all are a Zoom district or organization, you can put Zoom in as an add-on for your calendars. Inquire to your Google admin in your organization so they can add it if you would like to. It's really nice because all I have to do is click Zoom meeting and it will create the Zoom meeting and put the link and all the information in the calendar invite. So whoever I invite will also get invited to it. Everybody else will default to Google Meets. So you can just do Google Meets. It's singular. Click on Google Meet. All right. So next up is your location. People sometimes don't use this because when you start typing in, it will automatically start pulling from Google Maps. And so you're like, well, I don't need a map. You do not have to use a map location in that spot. Some people actually use it for links because it makes it puts it towards the top of the event. If you use a link, you don't have to. But the other thing is if you're on a campus, you can just put like room 31 and then just click off of it. You don't have to pick one of those. So, or so-and-so, Miss so-and-so's room or Mr. so-and-so's room or the principal's office. You can just type that in to show where your location is. And then you have your notifications. You can add as many notifications as you want. You can see, well, not as you want. Looks like 5 is my limit. But you can see mine's, I like calendar to nudge me. I say, tell me a day before, and then 10 minutes before, and then tell me 1 minute before. I need all of those nudges. And then down here, you can change your calendar. If you ever create an event and you're like, oh, I put it in the wrong calendar, I have to start over. No, you don't. You don't got to start over. Just click there and change your calendar. And then down here, we also have the new meeting notes. So this is a building blocks template in Google Docs that gives you a place for action items, gives you a place for notes for the meeting. It gives you calendar smart chips for the meeting. It also puts anybody that's on the guest list as smart chips for the attendee list in that Google Doc. And as soon as I save, I can click on that. I can go to the document, share it out, comment on it, and we're creating meeting notes, or we're creating the agenda live that everybody can see and everybody can collaborate in. Over on the right side is where you have your guests. Now, if I have a meeting that is coming up for me, and I just have a couple of people in there, not a whole lot. The thing I'm about to show you or suggest to you is more of a small group thing. You'll notice under here, for default, the guest permissions is to default people. Anybody you invite can invite other people, and anybody you invite can also see the guest list. Cool, groovy. The modify event is always turned off by default. Now, I think we've probably all been there at some point in time where we create a calendar invite and we realize, or somebody else realizes, that they can't be there at that time. And so they say, hey, can we change it to this time? And I would say, sure, go ahead, change it. And they have to email back, I can't. You're the only one that can do that. So in those kind of cases where you don't mind if people change the time because they might need to, or because you need people to add notes, or you might need someone else to change the location of the meeting, go ahead and click that modify event. We do that internally with a lot of our team events because everybody on the team has to be at those or wants to be at those, and we have a stake in that. So we just want everybody to go ahead and modify that event. Again, you don't want to do that if there's 100 people there or 50 people there. I would say like less than 10 was probably a good idea to have them be able to modify that event. Now, going along with that, the other thing that we always kind of struggle with is we need to meet. When's a good time for us to meet? Oh, 8's good for you? Well, 9's not good for me. And you do this like email thing back and forth, this text messaging thing back and forth, trying to find a time. Well, I don't know why. It's here on the thing, but we just don't see it, I think. But there is a find a time function in here. So once you've invited people, that's the key, invite people first. You can do it later, but it's clunkier. So invite people first. Once you've invited, not invited them, but put them on the guest list. There we go. Put them on the guest list. Once you've done that, come over here to find a time. Click on that, and that will show you everybody's calendar. It will show you by color coding who has what when. So all you have to do is just go out, find some white space somewhere, click on it, and notice when I clicked on it, it automatically changed the date at the top and the time to the time that I clicked. Then when I found that space, found that time that looks good for everybody, I just click back over here on event details and I get back to that screen. My last little tip for Google Calendar events is down here at the bottom where we put those notes in. You can also attach documents. You can put bulleted list and you can put links. But my tip is most people don't utilize this area. It is a highly underutilized area. And so because of that, if you start using this, we definitely encourage you to tell people ahead of time, hey, there's stuff down there. There's stuff in the description. There's stuff in the notes. Please take a look at the stuff in the notes and do that for a while until you've kind of set that expectation of, oh, there's going to be stuff here every time that I just need to be looking for, because most people don't see it. I've done it plenty of times where we get to a meeting and I was like, okay, so from the notes in the meeting, they'll be like, what notes? And they just never saw it. It's just natural because when you do, I'm going to go ahead and discard this. when you look at a Google event, let me see if I can find one with actual stuff in it. I don't know if it will, but you'll see right here that they put the notes at the bottom. And if you have a long guest list, that note at the bottom, you have to scroll to get to. So you have that whole iceberg effect. So you see the iceberg, here's my iceberg, and I'm going to have to scroll to see the bottom of the iceberg. Most people don't scroll, especially since the scroll bar is hidden until you start scrolling, and it doesn't even really show you that anything is there. They're doing a little bit better, so if you do put a Google Doc on here, they will try to put a button kind of close towards the top. But again, if the guest list is long or you have a bunch of other info up here, it will get pushed off. So just be aware, if you use that, tell everybody that you are going to be adding notes in. Okay, I'm about to run long, so if anybody has any questions, please feel free to email me at jessary@esc12.net. You can also get us at actually, let me go back to the screen recording and we'll go back to the top of this. There we go. Yes, so here's my email if you need that. And you can also get me in the Google group. So if you just want to email the Google group that way, or just email me. And remember, if you want to join the chat, that chat is in there as well. All right, y'all. I think that's about it. Thank y'all so much for coming. I think we peaked at 6, which is awesome. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And hey, stay googly out there.